Once again, good afternoon, children.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
You? Am I audible to you, children?
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, can you remind me the previous study? Can you remind me about the previous study? As far as I remember, I was able to finish letter to editor, or perhaps the ins and outs of deep water. What?
Yes, sir.
Letter to editor
Yes,
or
sir.
deep water? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Was it
Yes, sir.
water or letter to editor?
Sir, deep water.
Deep water.
Yes, sir. Deep water.
Okay. So, in what way? I think something was left before I could
Yes.
finish. The time was up. So now I remember exactly. Okay. After facing the three ordeals with water, developing hydrophobia, getting frustrated by the mother, had a narrow escape in the swimming pool after being thrown into the water by the stout boy and losing the sense inside the water. After getting the first aid, anyhow survived, and again he tried his best. So he once again reorganized himself because the dream didn't die. And with the help of an instructor, I remember, with the help of the instructor, he again decided to move on. Children, in the very beginning, when giving the introduction, I talked much about the realistic dream, isn't it? And the example of William Douglas very well exhibits the same. That despite the three incidents, why didn't he stop thinking of swimming? Had there been any other person after facing such situations, he or she could not have even thought of. But why Douglas did the same? Why didn't he stop himself? The reason is he had a strong brain, unflinching determination. Are you aware of the word unflinching? Unflinching. दस से मस नहीं होना. Once you decide something, you are not going to waver. You are not going to give way. You are not going to give up. Understand? This
Yes, sir.
kind of mindset is there. This kind of commitment to oneself is there. This is called unflinching determination. Unflinching determination. What may happen, whatever it takes, he or she has to accomplish the work at any cost, by hook or by crook. That is called unflinching determination. So the three example, the consecutive incidents, you very well remember, he developed fear of water, that is hydrophobia, when he was buried in the water at the beach of California, merely at the age of 4. When secondly, when he was planning to start swimming in the Yakima River, his mother frustrated him greatly by giving the details of all the lives lost in the river. And third, having a narrow escape, was almost gone. Anyhow, he survived. Despite that, he decided to move on. He shows the unflinching determination of William Douglas. And this time, he started with all sorts of preparation. That is, he managed an instructor. The instructor managed a pulley. A belt was tied round his waist, and one end of the rope was tied to the belt, and the next end was connected with pulley, and he along with water wings also. Thereafter, he started the different styles of swimming. If there was any risk, the instructor is there to pull back with the help of pulley. Means he made a foolproof arrangement. And beat by beat, step by step, the instructor taught him the different styles of swimming. And the more he practiced, the more he became mature. When I was talking about, a skill is subject to practice. If anything, that is skill, it needs practice. And the fear gradually started reducing. The fear of water gradually started reducing, and he became a class swimmer. And while once he was crossing a very big lake, he was on the surface of water in the bottomless lake. Bottomless, understand? And the old fear returned in miniature. Miniature, a very minor size, but he laughed at it. Same Douglas, who was unable to manage himself in only 9 feet deep water, and the same Douglas was swimming across the bottomless lake. Understand? And he became a world-class swimmer. So, deep water, that is the title. Deep water, suggesting what? It was not only the depth of water of the bottomless lake he swam across. Rather, it was the depth of his heart and mind. It was the depth of his brain that was immeasurable. The dream, it was immeasurable by ordinary person because the depth of brain was great. To measure the depth of brain, one can see the accomplishment of the person. How much amount of labor and patience must have gone behind it. To accomplish a great work, a person has to burn midnight oil. Without counting the number of effort, countless effort, the goal is to accomplish it. No matter how many times he was practiced, how many times he became failure in doing so. The ultimate result is the starting may be poor, the starting may be bad, but the finishing may be grand. Children, you can correlate your life to that deep water. You may have a very poor start in your life, in any field of life. But if you come with flying colors, ultimate success is yours. Understand? So, starting may be poor, but ending may be grand. So, this shows the very story of deep water very well teaches us this lesson that if we have a burning desire to accomplish something good and great in our life, nothing can stop us. It is said that when the dream is strong, facts hardly count. You can write down this golden statement. If the dream is strong, facts hardly count. Very golden statement. The dream is strong, quite natural. Challenges are the part and parcel of success. When God made success the equal size of challenge, success and challenge are the two faces of the same coin. Without facing the challenge, one cannot achieve success. The challenges build up our metal. Only then we can handle that success. Those who are unable to handle challenge, one cannot handle success. The initial failures are allowed before success. And it is said that those who cannot handle failure, they cannot handle success. That's why they are the two faces of the same coin. Because challenges are not there to stop us, to frustrate us, to discourage us. Rather, it builds our mental fiber. It makes us strong. In order to suggest this point, I can give you two examples. You can relate to it. There was a research, it is based on research. To justify my points, I would like to give you two examples. So, a person took two eggs of the bird, eggs, Children, am I audible to you? Are you able to clearly listen
Yes,
to
sir.
me?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes,
You are
sir.
clearly audible.
So,
Yes, sir.
person
This is
conducted an experiment. So, he took two eggs under observation, eggs of the bird. And as you know, after laying eggs, the birds hatch them. अंडे को सेती है सेना क्या होता है hatching. What is hatching? The birds sit on the eggs, they provide the warmth of their body to the egg, and owing to that warmth, the eggs grow from inside, they develop from inside. That's a very scientific fact you all are aware of, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
The birds sit over the on the egg
Yes, sir.
and provides the warmth of the body, and owing to that warmth the eggs develop. So the two eggs the person was having under observation, the two eggs were properly hatched by the bird, and when the time came for the chicks to come out of the eggs, it was time. The eggs were properly hatched, properly developed from inside, and what happens? There comes the time when the eggs crack and the chicks come out. So he was closely observing the eggs, and there the crack was visible on both the eggs. Cracks means the chicks were struggling from inside to come out of the egg. They were very a strong layer, that is of the egg. It makes a crack, and the more the chicks struggle from inside, the greater is the size of the cracks become. You know. So what happened when the crack was visible on the egg? What did the man do? He left one egg and allowed the chick to come out itself. Didn't help. What happened? The crack opened, again closed, opened, closed. Means the chick was struggling from inside. And after a good deal of effort, hundreds of times, ultimately the crack was bigger and the chick came out of the egg. Automatically, nothing was done. But what about the next egg? When the crack was visible, the man helped the chick come out of the egg. Means using his nail, his fingers, he increased the gap of the crack and allowed the chick to come out effortlessly. Children, are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So from one egg, the chick came out after a great deal of struggle. Many times the cracks opened and closed, and for the second time, with the second egg, the man helped the chick come out. Means he widened the gap of the crack and allowed the chick to come out. Both the chicks now came out of the. Constantly he was observing the two chicks. After some time, the egg, the chick who came out of the egg, without any help, with a good deal of a struggle, turned into a very healthy bird and flew higher in the sky. Very healthy bird. And the next chick was helped by the person who could not survive, died. This is the story. When this incident was scientifically analyzed, excuse me, so when it was scientifically analyzed, it was found that while coming out of the egg, the chicks put a lot of pressure on the wings. And when the pressure was put on the wings, a particular kind of chemical is formed, and that chemical helps the birds to strengthen their wings. The wings become stronger due to that, owing to that, with the help of that chemical.
Yes, sir.
So the bird, it tried hard many times and came out itself, allowed the formation of the chemical. That's why it became a very healthy bird. And the bird was helped in coming out of the egg, didn't get the opportunity for the chemicals to come out. For chemical formation didn't happen. And that's why it didn't survive. What is the conclusion? Children, what is the conclusion of this story?
So the much you work hard, the more you get to.
Yes, a struggle makes you strong. Not only physically, mentally also. The story of the two birds, two chicks. This story you may find, you can read a very nice book by C. Kheda. The story is there in that book. Very nice motivational book, you can find there. I bought this story from there. Right. So while getting constant struggle, and if you are not giving up, it strengthens your mental fiber. Mental muscles become strong. It builds your attitude of not accepting defeat. Not accepting defeat. It is said, falling is not bad. But after falling, be ready to get up. One time more. Just while doing something, while achieving something, while struggling something, quite naturally you will failures. But if you are ready to stand up, to get up one more time, you are successful. So after getting the constant obstruction, William Douglas would not stop. Had he stopped after the incident of swimming pool, when he was about to die, he could not have become a world-class swimmer. Had Edison stopped his experiment after 5,000 times, this may not be the part of history. Several examples are there. You know, even the story of Jack Ma, 21 times he was rejected. Time and again he was going for interview. He was not selected. But still he didn't give up. Tried his best in other field and rest is history. So history is replete with such examples when a person fixed of goal with inflating commitment, a goal, commitment, decision, ultimate success is theirs. The story of deep water also concludes the fact that if we are 100% sold out for whatever we have decided to do, whatever we have decided to accomplish in our life, success will touch our feet. Obviously, we will come flying colors. So this is the message of the story, children. Deep water. A very motivating story. I like it. Hope you also like it. And try to get certain grains of the message from this story and try to implement in your study or in your field where you want to go. Naturally, the result will be tremendous. So before I come to the question answer, some of the important questions and answers and some of the board model questions and answers, I allow you to ask anything. Because question and answer session will be held in the next class because we have limited time today, a few minutes left. So now, you are allowed to ask anything you want. Yes? Children, you will ask question only when you go through the text. Because unless and until I don't suggest you to avoid your important subjects like PCM and biology and engage yourself in English only. No, you can find 15 minutes, 20 minutes every day out of 24 hours. That will also help you a lot. You just go through the text, go through your stories. It will help you a lot. And if you go through the text, you will be ready for the discussion. You can ask questions. You don't ask any question means you don't have any problem. You don't have anything to ask. So my suggestion is anything, still I can wait for a few minutes. Anything to ask? So tomorrow I shall hold discussion on some of the important questions and answers. And thereafter, we'll switch over to another writing skill. And then again,
Yes, sir.
another story. Okay? So yes, do it. Let me see the time. Just a few minutes are there. Nothing to ask. You should try your best from next time. So, deep water is the story of motivation. Deep water is the story of commitment. Deep water is the story of brain. And deep water is the story of burning desire. Suppose this is the question I asked. Deep water, write down. Deep water is the story of a burning desire justified. Deep water is the story of burning desire. Justified. Note it down. Try your best to craft the answer in the best possible way. And let me know in the next class. Note down. Prepare well at home. And when I appear next time, I can expect a very nice answer. So, deep water is the story of burning desire justified. Children, did you note down? Did you note down?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Draft the answer in the best possible way. As well as you can. And I shall hold discussion on this particular question in your class. Okay? So this much today.
Yes, sir.
The next day, be ready with the thorough discussion and interaction on the question and answer from the same chapter. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.